Pastor Tim Mangala here, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic, you gotta want it, and you gotta want it bad. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. 2 weeks ago, I ran a half marathon. I talked a little bit about it leading up to it, and it changed my life. It changed my life because for my whole life, I've not been a runner. Many of you, if you've listened to my podcast, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you know of the struggles that I've had mentally around endurance and around running. And so about 3-4 months ago, I looked in the mirror. I was pretty heavy. I was fat. And, people, you look great. I'm like, nah, man, no, let's tell the truth. And I didn't like it. So I decided to go run and run this half marathon and train for it. And so I trained for about 3 months, faced a lot of adversity. And my three longest runs, I ran 10 miles, I ran 10 miles, and then I ran a 13 miler. Like those were the right before the half marathon. Ran the half marathon. I did it in 2 hours, 32 minutes, about 11:40 pace. And look, for me, it was a big deal because I have wanted to be an endurance guy. So it goes back to 3 years ago. September 2016, I attended the SEAL Fit Kokoro. If you look it up, SEAL Fit Kokoro, it's a simulation, a 2.5 day simulation of training of what guys go through in Hell Week to become a Navy SEAL. And I trained for it, and I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't even near ready. I got dropped in the first 12 hours. There's standards. You have to be able to run a mile in 8 minutes with boots. You have to be able to do Murph, which is the CrossFit workout. 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run. And you have to be able to do that in 70 minutes. No kipping, no butterfly, strict pull-ups. You got to do 50, I think it's 60 push-ups. The standards, they're there, and I couldn't do them. And when I finished, I was like, I'm never going to go back, man. I don't, what do I have to prove? I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm a big dude. I lift weights, and that's it. And my boy, my good friend, my business partner, my brother, Nate Bailey, he ran 300-mile runs last year. And then he attempted a 200-mile run, which I think he would have did it. He twisted his knee in a course that was muddy, and it had rained for 7 days straight. So he had to pull out 30 miles in. And I watched this guy run. I'm like, man, that's crazy. What would have this guy do that? What would have him do that? And I went back to my football days. And I went back to when I got married. And I went back to looking at when my kids were born. And I went back to when we were on the bottom and I had lost the Super Bowl ring and I had been bankrupt and we were like negative 700 in the bank account. I was depressed. I was discouraged. I was angry. And I remember all those times that I succeeded is because of one thing. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad that I was willing to overcome whatever discouragement, depression, and doubt. I was willing to do whatever it took. At any time, at any place, I was willing to transform my mind. I was willing to transform my body. I was willing to gain the necessary required skills. I was willing to study and learn from the best and take notes and study and repeat and practice because I wanted it. So 2 weeks ago, I ran the half marathon. I wanted it. Now I'm on another journey. I've got to go drop about 25 pounds and I want to run another half marathon. I want to get stronger. I want to go do the Super Spartan race in July in Colorado. I want to run another half marathon before then. I have a company that I run. And I love my company. It's a coaching company. We coach individuals. So I get a lot of content away on my podcast, on my site. Right? If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, my ask is that you go and leave me a comment. Follow me on Instagram. If you like it, leave me a comment. Stay connected to me. If you enjoy listening to the podcast, which I'll get back into doing regularly, like my invitation for you is to interact with me on Instagram. But why am I sharing this with you? Because too many people today, they complain. Too many people today, they're stuck in depression. And I get, look, people who are depressed, it's hard. I say we, because we get blinded. We think something's wrong with us. And yeah, there's chemicals and there's all kinds of things going on. And I just want you to know, don't be afraid to want something. Don't be afraid to want it. Like, what do you want? What do you desire to have? One of my biggest fears is going to my grave, having never sung my song. Going to my grave, never having truly lived. Going to my grave with regret that I wasn't there for my kids, that I wasn't there for my family. Going to my grave and standing before God And having him say, man, since I gave you all these talents, what happened? Why didn't you use them? Why did you play small? Why were you afraid? Why did you let fear govern you? I don't want that. And I don't want regret. So the biggest thing for you is, look, do you want it? I look at these incredible people throughout the history of time who do they have wanted things so bad that they were willing to put their lives on the line for it? They were willing to sacrifice everything for it. They were willing to take a stand, a bold stand, to get the thing that they wanted. The question is are you? Are you willing to take a stand? Are you willing to want it and to declare that you want it? Are you willing to fight for the thing you want, or will you continue to complain and blame and make excuses and be a victim? A couple months ago, right, my back has been hurting for about 25 years. And when I say hurting, painful, miserable. Like I'll miss days of training, sometimes weeks on end without being able to lift. I'm always in pain. I can't carry my kids. Like it hurts to pick up groceries. I've been just miserable. And I'm just like, I'm gonna get this solved. So went to my chiropractor, didn't like what they said. I was gonna go have surgery, go meet up with a surgeon. I just was like, I want to solve this. Like I want to solve this problem. And a buddy of mine reaches out. His name is Luca Hokover, a great friend of mine, an incredible expert in fitness and nutrition and health and mindset. He's like, come up to my gym. And I'm like, man, I got to buy a ticket. It's like $600-700. I got to get a hotel, a rental car, Uber. That'd take 2.5, 3 days. And he's like, dude, I promise. He's like, I promise you, I can help you. Now you got to understand, for 25 years, I have been struggling. 25 years to struggle. It's just like my back has been hurting, and it's just been like, and when you try pretty much everything, you become a non-believer. You just don't believe that it could happen. When you tried to build your business and you tried to lose weight and you tried to do all this stuff, listen, let me help you here. Ready? Just say what it is that you want. Like, don't be afraid to say that. Just say what it is that you want. Say it. Declare it. Hey, I want this. I want to build a business. I want to make more money. I want to be leaner. I want to have a six-pack. I want to have a greater marriage. I want to be a better father. I want to be a great parent. I want to be a winner, a champion. I was listening to a podcast today, and a gentleman who I have just come across, but following him on Instagram, he's definitely not a flavor for everybody. But it was great. I met his wife, met a lot of his people. His name is Andy Frisella, and definitely, again, a lot of cussing. And he's a good dude. And he talked about how he just said, winners dominate losers and legends dominate winners. And I thought, See, there's just this mindset. So I heard that, and look, I run what's called a circle of champions. I have a huddle, like we have the groups, our masterminds. Why? Because I want people to win. I want people to be happy, to live their life's purpose, to live their greatest version of their life, to be happy, to have peace, to overcome adversity, to become mentally strong and mentally tough. And a lot of people just aren't willing to do the work. They're just not willing. A lot of people just out there living a mediocre life. Why? You're going to die. Let me say this again. You're going to die. And if you know that you're going to die and you get one shot at this life on earth, why would you waste it when there are so many success stories out there? When there's so many people who win, who love, who laugh, who create, who enjoy life, who travel, who work out, who are healthy. And look, you've seen all those people that are quadriplegics, no arms, no legs, and they still live life at an amazing high level. My invitation to you today is to come back into the podcast scene. Get up. What are you waiting for? Seriously, what are you waiting for? Like, how much more pain, how much more suffering, how much more loss do you need to go through before you get up and do the work every single day? I'll tell you right now, right? There's a chasm, there's a divide, and it only gets larger. And you better find yourself on the right side of the line. That right side And I'm not talking politically, but the side of the line you want to be on is the side where the winners are, the producers, those who understand value creation and mindsets and skill sets. Get up, do the work. If this podcast has meant something to you, if any of my podcasts have, I invite you to go follow me on Instagram. Please refer a friend to the podcast. Go share it. If you find something that you like, go share it. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.